Hello, my name is Taylor Conrad, and my assessment topic is Bloom's Taxonomy. In 1956, a team of educators led by Benjamin Bloom published the Taxonomy of Educational Objectives. Known today as Bloom's Taxonomy, it is a framework for categorizing educational goals. Bloom was an educational psychologist who attained degrees at Pennsylvania State University and earned his PhD from the University of Chicago, where he worked in the Department of Education. Bloom believed education should focus on mastery of subjects, rather than the transferring of facts. He believed that teaching should be focused on meaningful personal development, and so developed a taxonomy to allow learning objectives to be planned and measured appropriately, so as to improve the effectiveness of developing mastery. Bloom's taxonomy breaks objectives into three domains: cognitive, which refers to knowledge or intellectual ability; affective, which refers to emotions, feelings, or attitudes; and psychomotor, which refers to skills. Each domain is then broken into categories or levels, where each level must be mastered before advancing to the next. Bloom's work identified each of the domains. However, many experts have expanded and added to the domains since. The psychomotor domain, in particular, has been developed by other contributors, as Bloom never fully detailed this category. Bloom's taxonomy is most commonly recognized by the 6 major categories identified in the cognitive domain, so I will focus on this domain. The first category is knowledge, or recalling and remembering previously learned material. The second is comprehension, which is being able to grasp or understand the meaning of the information or material. At this level, students can describe and make sense of the material and can restate it in their own words. The third is application, or being able to use and apply previously learned information in new situations. The fourth is analysis, which is breaking down information and examining material in order to understand the organizational structure of the information. Here, the student can identify motives or causes, make inferences, and find evidence to support generalizations. The fifth is applying prior knowledge and skills to put together elements to form a whole. The sixth and final level is evaluation, judging the worth of the material based on personal opinions and values. This results in an end product with a given purpose without real right or wrong answers. Bloom's taxonomy has been revised over the years, but the premise remains the same. This image describes the revised categories and uses verbs or action words instead of nouns to describe the levels of learning. The categories in this revised version include remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Bloom's taxonomy urges educators to encourage different levels of thinking. It provides a model to organize goals and to translate these goals into measurable outcomes. Additionally, it allows educators to plan and design assessment techniques which are most appropriate and capable of measuring student outcomes according to the levels of expertise which are required to achieve them. It can serve as a checklist to ensure students are developing the intended capabilities and provides a simple structure for assessing and evaluating training and learning effectiveness. The words associated with the different categories can help educators to assess if learning outcomes are being met. Bloom's taxonomy provides verbs along with each category, which educators can use in order to plan activities for different levels of thinking. For knowledge, verbs such as arrange, define, list, and select can be used. Examples of activities to measure this learning level include multiple choice tests or having students recall a process. For comprehension, words such as explain, summarize, critique, and illustrate can be used. Activities can include having students create examples or explain the meaning of a given scenario. For application, words such as apply, prepare, respond, and produce can be used. At this level, students could be asked to demonstrate something or to solve a problem. For analysis, words such as measure, compare, and break down can be used. Students could be asked to deconstruct a methodology or process or to identify constituent parts of a concept. For synthesis, the words develop, build, create, and design can be used. Activities could include having students write protocols, develop plans or procedures, and design solutions. Lastly, for evaluation, words such as review, justify, defend, and argue can be used, and activities could include performing a SWOT analysis or a risk analysis with justification and recommendations. Bloom's taxonomy provided a basis for ideas which have been used and developed around the world by educators, teachers, and trainers in order to properly prepare learning evaluation materials. It can be used as a reference model to plan for any type of educational learning and development. And if you would like to find out more information about Bloom's taxonomy, here are my references.